different polarities. That's all you're dealing with, people. Yeah. 666, 74, 74. Same as 666. Number two. Situation number two. A lot of y'all still don't see the symbolism between Jesus the Christ, the mythical Christ, right? Y'all still don't see the correlation between him and the solar sun, which is very sad. You know, really it's so elementary. I can't see how y'all can't see it, right? But Jesus himself, he's a metaphor for the solar sun, and this was derived from the pagans, or the so-called pagans. Ironically enough, everything that you can find in Christianity, you can find in older belief systems, older cultures, older civilizations. But basically, like I told you, if you have the ability to erase the past, right, you can basically pass off anything on anybody. So that's what Christianity has done. They've taken other people's belief systems, they've basically twisted it and made it their own and claimed it as their own. They've plagiarized a lot of stuff, right? But Jesus is nothing but a metaphor for the sun. I mean, check it out. See, you got Leo down here, right? Leo. Now, Jesus is often called what? The Lion of the tribe of Judah. First of all, I got this fake Jesus up here, but, you know, I got to go ahead and use this because this is what most of y'all can relate to, you know what I mean? So, you know, to make y'all feel a little comfortable, you know, especially you Negroes out there, African Americans, y'all still want to see them like this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, pass the pork rinds. Okay, but anyway, right here, this is Leo. Jesus often called the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Anybody that knows anything about astrology knows that Leo is ruled by the sun. Okay? Yeah, Leo is ruled by the sun, the solar sun. So, right here, also observe the lion, how he has that mane, the lion's mane, you know, it's basically reminiscent of solar rays, right? And right here you have the sun, which has the corona, right, which are the solar rays emitting from it also. Then you come over here looking at this Jesus, right? He has the crown of thorns. Isn't this crown of thorns kind of like reminiscent of the corona of the sun? Huh? Is it? It ain't? Oh, come on, people. Use your imagination. All right. So right here we got the lion, which is Leo. Leo the lion, symbolic to the sun. Jesus, lion of the tribe of Judah. The sun's corona. The lion's mane. Crown of thorns. Crown of thorns. All right. I mean, come on, people. Think for a minute. Jesus is what? Right? The Son of God. Son, S-U-N, Son, S-O-N, whatever. Jesus' birthday, December 25th. Unbeknownst to y'all, December 25th was an ancient so-called pagan holiday where everybody worshiped the sun, okay, because it appeared to resurrect on December 25th, made its northward journey up into the heavens, or the sun's rays, okay, and the sun was symbolically reborn. So, I mean, come on, y'all. Research, do some studying for God's sakes, right? So check it out. It's obvious that the Christians plagiarized the truth about the earth's creation by the solar sun from the pagans, but concealed the knowledge under superstitious ignorance. You feel what I'm saying? Probably not. Of course you don't. But, I mean, just check it out. Check out the symbolism, the lion's mane, sun's corona, Jesus the Son of God. I mean, y'all always say he's the light of the world, right? He's the way, the truth, and the light. You say the world was made by him, right? Okay, well, that makes sense because the planet was made by solar energy. Without the solar life, without the solar energy, the solar heat, the earth would be dead, right? So, really, the sun did create the earth. Sun, crown of thorns.
Come on. There is no match.
Here we go once again. Yeah. The chaotic one in the back, bringing some more
And I ain't
flavor to your ears. All right.
unites us.
You know, yeah, we just
Together
been talking
behind
about
this
like a
one
little bit of
plan
knowledge, you know,
of action.
basically in books.
An assault
And
on every front.
of course, I like to talk about education. Of course, you know, some of you may know that there's two types of education that a man may get in his life. One is the education that the society gives him, okay, the mainstream, the
institutions, the religious institutions, and all kinds of institutions that society runs that educates him. And then there's the kind of education that he gives himself through his own faculties, okay, through his own initiatives, through his own wants, desires, and needs, okay, and the latter education being the most important, okay, the latter education being the most valuable, because you start with no biases, okay, you basically don't deal with rhetoric or rhetorical things, alright, because rhetoric is nothing but a means to control the minds of men, alright. Now, the minds of men, it's a very complex topic, okay. Now, I like to say this, right, as far as the world is concerned, those who have had the knowledge of God, the universe, and man knows that there's 3 types of people on this planet, okay. And first I'd like to start off with the Egyptian model, okay, the Egyptian model, the Egyptian initiates, the Egyptian mysteries, the mysteries of antiquity or whatever. They say that there's 3 types of people on this planet, okay. You have the doer, a thinker, and a knower, okay, and that is typified by what they would call the riddle of the Sphinx, okay. In order to become an initiate back in God knows when, okay, one would have to answer this question. They would say, what walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night, okay. Now, this is a metaphysical question, a metaphysical problem, alright. The answer to that would be man. Man walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night. Meaning that when he's a child, when he's an infant, he starts off on all 4 appendages, his hands and his knees, okay? He starts at a ground level, a base level, alright? Not yet upright, okay? Then they say that as man grows and learns, right, he becomes a man, of course. Therefore, he stands upright on 2 feet. Okay? And just follow me so far? Alright. Now, the first stage was a doer stage. The baby, the infant, the ignorant stage. Innocent but ignorant. Then you go to the man stage, the upright stage, okay? Which is the thinker stage. Because now, you have the ability to think and do for self. You no longer have to have anybody spoon feed you, change your diapers, or look after you. You now have the means to basically take care of yourself. Therefore, you can think for yourself, or so we like to think. Okay, that's the thinker stage. Then you have the knower stage, which is symbolic of old age. Okay, now he walks on 3 legs, being two legs and his cane. Okay, the cane has been symbolic to wisdom and experience. All right, you no longer have your physical attributes, okay, or your physical prowess to rely on. You now rely on your wits, okay. You're no longer a physical type being. You're now more so spiritual. You're like man. You like super tight with the intellect now. So whenever a situation comes or arises, right, it's almost as if you don't even have to think about it anymore, because you know that you've been through this situation sometime before due to your life experiences. Your wisdom is at a high level, okay. So he walks on 3 legs, okay, his legs and his cane. That's the knower stage. The thinker stage is man, the 2 legs being upright, okay, because he was a doer, right, who came up of all 4s. Alright, so let me recap that. The ancient Egyptians say that you have a doer stage, a thinker stage, and a knower stage. You're on 4 legs, 2 legs, and 3 legs. Okay? The doer stage is innocent but ignorant. Okay? Which, I might add, the world basically is in the doer stage right now. We have a lot of innocent and ignorant people walking around, as far as when you come to this religious game, or this dogmatic practices game. Alright, then you have the thinker stage. These are people that want to know. All of a sudden, the fires of wisdom and intellect have been kindled. They want to know what's going on now. You know, Pastor Pork Chop no longer is good enough. Okay, the Pope is no longer good enough. None of that is no longer good enough. They want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt. No more rhetoric, no more accepting, no more believing in blind faith or things unseen. Okay, no more of that. No more plantation theologies. All right, I want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt, period. Okay, that's the thinker stage. Then you have the knower stage. Okay, the knowers basically run and rule society. All right, they've been through those two stages, and they basically take care of, especially the doers or the babies, the infants, mentally. They take care of them because they basically say that they have no kind of I don't know what they would call it. See, they treat you like children. The knowers treat you like children, all right? They basically say that you don't have the capacity to think for yourself. You can't possibly know what is good for yourself. So they're going to take care of you, and they're going to basically spoon feed you what they think you should have, okay? So there it is. I went through the Egyptian, okay, or somebody even say the Masonic flip side of it. Now I'm going to go to what I call the 5%, okay? There's a group called the 5% Nation of Islam, which is basically an offshoot of the Nation of Islam, founded by a brother named Clarence 13X, 1965, I believe, okay? Now, basically, Clarence 13X basically started a movement up in New York that was founded for and by young black teens, okay? Because he knew that the future resided in the youth. So instead of coming to older people, right, because leopards can't change their spots, he came to younger people and said, you are God, or you are Allah. Arm, leg, arm, and head, okay? He said, you have the power to do all things, okay? He said that basically, to know thyself is to know God, and to know God is to know thyself. And once you know thyself, right, I mean, what else is there not to know? Because in knowing yourself, man, excuse me, Taco Bell. And to know thyself, right, is very profound indeed, okay? So, because you got a lot of people that want to start backwards, okay? All right, and I'm going to use typical religious Christian dogma or dogmatic practices and beliefs as an example, okay? A lot of people that I meet, all right? Now, a real Christian knows better, okay? But you got a lot of people out there who just profess to be Christian, right, without knowing the slightest thing what they're into. Or you have people out there who profess to be Masons and don't have the slightest idea what they're into, right? But the typical Christian will say, you know, that I'm not God, or I can't profess to be this or profess to be that. And, you know, their ignorance, you know, proceeds. Number one, they want to start backwards. They want to start with, they want to get to know God. Understand what I'm saying? Which is an intangible, which is a force that cannot be possibly comprehended by mortal man. Okay, you can get bits and pieces, right, of the understanding, right, but you can never fully comprehend the scope of the Most High. Okay, while you're doing it, while disconnecting yourself, you can never see the outside of a circle, right, while you're inside of it. Okay, because this body is nothing but a tomb. The flesh is a tomb. Okay, this is the grave right here, and you're never going to fully understand spiritual concepts while you're in the physical. Never ever will you. Alright? At least not in this age, okay? But that's another show. Alright, when we get to the Aquarian age. Alright, so basically what they do is they want to get to know God, right, without getting to know themselves. You say, I know what God is. God is this. And of course they start with the Bible, they start the chapters. God is... But, no, they read it in literalism, and thus they miss the whole point. Okay? But see, my thing is they're starting backwards. See, things don't grow from the sky down, okay? From the ground up, okay? So you start with yourself. You understand and you know thyself. Then you can get a better concept and grasp what the Most High is, all right? But y'all want to grow the tree from the sky down, all right? And you can't do that. It doesn't happen that way. Get to know thyself, and then through that pattern, through that blueprint, okay, in which the Institute of Divine Meditation